that? We're live again tonight. Episode 20. 20. Is it really 20?
20. Yes, that's correct.
Wow. That's crazy. People have actually shown some interest in us enough that we've done 20 episodes.
We hit the 100 mark on YouTube in terms of subscribers.
Yeah, listen,
Something.
we're doing what we can. And it's what we're doing is for the industry. It's all about the industry. We want to help everybody grow their businesses and expand and learn about people that are in the industry, whether they've been in for 3 days or 13 years, like some people. Not mentioning any names, but we're here to have a good time and just meet new people. And speaking of new people, now I've known this young lady for a few years since she started. But we have Alicia. Did I say that correct?
It's technically Alicia, but I go by Alicia or Allie.
Okay. Well, I'm going to call you Allie. I'll call you whatever you want tonight, because we have one of the prop queens that's out there in the industry.
The one in the north.
What's that?
The one in the north.
The one in the
north.
Yeah.
But you're not blonde, and you don't. I haven't seen you sing "Let It Go" yet, so but we're not going to make you sing tonight. Don't worry.
You want to hear me sing?
No, but seriously, we're here to have a good time tonight. We're here to learn about you and your business, how you got started. Just tell us about you.
Woo. How long do we have? Okay. Well, I started as you said a few years ago, but I didn't even really realize it was a business at that point. I was making my little props by hand practically, well, with the aid of my Cricut machine. And I had some friends tell me, hey, can you make me a sign for my birthday and bring your camera? And we were having a crappy little photo booth at the house party, and we were having a blast. Like, sometimes people forget how much fun the actual event is, and you don't need the fanciest of everything. And literally, it was just like a printed cardboard, like cardstock, with just a funny design on it. And more friends started asking for the photo booth and my signs. So at that point, I was with my ex, and he had the camera and everything. So I looked at him and I said, hey, like, people really like this. We should probably do something like that and offer it. And literally, we started with a tripod and his DSLR and an umbrella flash. Like, it was bad, but it worked, and people had so much fun. However, we were both working full-time jobs, and I realized that, I was working harder at this than he was. He was not really committed into it. So I said, you know what, I can't do the photo booth all on my own right now. And I noticed that people really loved the props I was making. And literally at that point, they were printed out. And I was just designing on the computer and printing it out, cutting it out, and they loved it. So eventually I figured, okay, this needs to be a little nicer, fancier. And I saw that I could do them with glitter cardstock. But there's so many kinds of cardstock out there and glitter, and I did so many trial and error. Eventually, I managed to get really nice ones out, and I put them on Etsy. And one of my first clients, she's still my client, but obviously was a bit bummed out when I stopped making glitter props. But it was really fun. Like the fact that I was seeing someone's face light up when they would pick up a prop and be like, this is for me, because they were all custom at that point.
Yeah.
They were asking me what they wanted it to have. And just seeing their faces was really fun. And eventually, I was selling a lot for that level. I mean, it was just me. So eventually ended up with carpal tunnel, and I couldn't. Yeah, it hurt. But I was like so bummed out because I really enjoyed making them. Like I'm a crafty person. I've always liked to work with my hands. I painted a little bit. I did cross stitching, like, whatever I could do, I would try to do. So let me show you like there's everybody can make a glitter cardstock prop. But honestly, like I was so intricate with it that I kept one of the ones that I love the most. And I made this.
Wow.
It's very
You
cool.
made that, that's cardstock?
Yeah, it's all glitter cardstock. I don't know if you can see it
Okay.
closer.
I
But
can see the sparkle.
yeah, and it's like it takes a lot to do this. So my clients really they loved the level of intricacy I was putting in the props. And they would ask me, like, one time they asked me it was for Wendy's, and I made a frosty and a French fries and the logo, and it gets really intricate.
Yeah.
Someone asked me to do one, and her logo has cheetah print on it. Well, I made cheetah print on with glitter, and so yeah, no wonder I ended up with a carpal tunnel. So I was, of course, bummed out and decided to move on to PVC.
Okay.
So that's pretty much where it started.
So you've been at this. I took a look at the website, and because I like to try to do my research before we jump on.
Yeah.
The one blog said 5 years, so I'm guessing right now you're at 6 years.
Right
About.
now it's 6. It's gonna be. I think I started in April,
Okay.
so it's gonna be 6 years very soon, if not already. I honestly didn't check my calendar or my watch when I started, but it's pretty much 6 years now.
So 6 years. So and you were not a photo booth company to start off, correct?
Yeah, well, we did it very briefly. My
Yeah,
my
briefly.
ex and I, for about a year and a half, we did the photo booth thing.
Mhm.
But since he was really not into it, and I couldn't do that in my full-time job at that point, I decided to just focus on the props and ditch the photo booth and ditch the guy.
Yeah, double ditch.
Hey, I need to be with someone that's going to be like same mindset as I am, and
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
resting on your laurels.
And supporting too, right? Because you're an
Yeah,
entrepreneur. You're
yeah.
creative, so they had to feed into the creativity. You had to feed into and support you and push you, right? So and it shows. 6 years strong. That's I'm sure. So what was your first year like? Did you like? And then I'm gonna talk about entrepreneurship here because we're all entrepreneurs, but you're on a different side. You're on the other side of the table as a creator for other entrepreneurs. So how
Yeah.
hard was your first year, your second year? What kind of stumbling blocks did you go through? Other
Well,
than that?
it wasn't really hard because I only quit my full-time job like 6 months ago.
Okay.
So to me, this whole thing was always a little bit of a side gig.
Okay.
And so for the first couple of years of selling the glitter props, it was not hard. It was just a little bit of extra income that I could use to fix my house a little bit and get a couple $100 here and there. And I wasn't treating it like a business. And unknowingly, I was growing the business, but not being active on it. So I wasn't really learning much. I was just wanting to do the artwork. I just wanted to get my art out there because somehow it's a form of art.
It is.
It's an artistic expression somehow, and I just wanted to do that to like pass the time and forget a little bit about the woes that may happen during the day and just glue things one by one intricately and listen to music or a podcast or whatever. And then
Like the
the
Photo
big
Booth
C.
Magazine podcast, I said like the Photo Booth Magazine podcast, something like that. You'd listen to. Just
Exactly.
had to throw that.
I've been listening to all the podcasts out there.
I'm
I have to
sorry.
say, no, some of them I stopped listening to because the people were not super fun to listen to. So,
Yeah.
but I prefer I prefer your interviews. I think they're very they're insightful to what we're all doing as vendors, as photo boothers, etc. So that's a very nice outlook on it. But yeah, going back to it, I eventually, the big C happened, and I had already been to the expo, and actually I remember my mom probably wasn't going to be able to go back to Mexico because everything was getting shut down and everything. So it was a little bit tricky at that point. Um, and I know it sounds awful, and maybe some might say tone deaf, considering that everything horrible that happened, but it was a good thing for me because it allowed me to like focus. I was laser focused. I was at home. I was, thankfully healthy, and everybody that I know was healthy. So that was one of the lucky ones. Um, but I just said, hey, I have all this free time. So I ramped up everything I could about the business. I came up with more ideas for props. I fixed my website.
Hmm.
My website was kind of not the best, but then I went and designed it all, and I had someone to do the coding because, as good as I may be at some things, I am not a coder. So I really work hard on all that and finding a brand identity because your brand is more than just a logo.
Yep.
So I worked really hard on that, and it was a good time to find that introspection and find that time to like take a step back, realize what's important in your life, because I think we all got hit, like a ton of bricks with,
Hmm.
okay, life's different now.
Yep.
And so it was for me, it was a good time. It allowed me to find, I know it sounds cliche and maybe funny, but I found myself, I was able to, all right, now what are you going to do? And I was single, and I was, just working on myself and having a good time with my little dog and making props. And, it was, it was a nice time in that regard. And then I met my now husband. So it was a good year. And I
Hey,
know it
uh,
sucks, but for me it was.
congratulations. That's fantastic. That's hard to do during
Yeah.
COVID. Actually, one of the things that, like, because I'm do DJing as well, and a lot of things have to do with weddings. And like, man, if nobody can go out and date during this
Yeah.
shutdown, how are people going to meet each other? And is that going to affect how many weddings we're going to have next
Whole
year? But no, people found a way. As humans,
life.
they find a way.
Love finds a way.
Yes.
But yeah, it was not easy, let me tell you that. It was I had a lot of crappy dates.
The, but
And
you
it
went
was
through that.
hard, like touching on a subject a little bit on the side is that it's really hard as a woman, a businesswoman, to find a supportive boyfriend, husband, partner. It's hard. Like I literally, after a couple dates or whatever, and the guy would find out that I was a business owner. I owned my house, I owned a car, and I was pretty much independent. They were scared,
Uh,
and I'm like, dude, this is supposed to be good. Um, so it made it tough. It made me realize that okay, that whole strong independent woman thing, it kind of goes out the window when you're trying to date. It's many guys they find that scary, and in a way I understand that, but at the same time it's kind of dumb. So
Well,
luckily, yeah,
women,
luckily,
I'm sorry.
sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was just going to say, women that are powerful, can be very intimidating to a lot of men.
Yeah,
I've seen that, going on.
yeah, it's unfortunately some ladies do give that a bad rap, and end up being like a bitch on wheels, but unfortunately it's not the case all the time, and so it's difficult to find a partner that's going to be supportive and at the same time not feel intimidated about it. And so when I met Bastian, I was so surprised that as soon as I was telling him about my business and all that stuff, he was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." And he was genuinely interested in it. And he doesn't mind that it's Alicia and Bastian, like it kind of flipped the switch and everything. And for the longest time, he was, kind of taking a seat back on the whole thing. And it was a little difficult, like opening that up as a business owner, to be like, okay, you can be co-owner, and because it's my baby, like I've grown this, and after all, he's not a designer, he's not anything of that artistic sort, or his jobs, he was in the military, so completely different background. But his support really was amazing, and he ended up helping me with so many things that I just had no time for at some point. He's doing all the accounting now, and I'm like, thank God. Like,
Right.
I would not be able to do that.
That's a load off because it allows you to be creative. When you have to do accounting and shipping and invoicing and the taxes, right, and creating
Mhm.
customer
Yeah,
service,
I just
marketing.
want to. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and as you were saying, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, it's more than just showing up to a place with your photo booth and see ya. Like, you really have to do a lot of stuff. You have to do so much research. Like, locally, can you do this thing? Can you do not do this thing?
Uh-huh.
Everybody, worries about contracts, and they pretty much want to download them from the internet. It's like, no, buddy, you need to search what works in your city, your state. It's all different.
Yep.
We're in Canada. Canadian taxes and Canadian um, rules, regulations, and laws is different than for you guys.
Uh-huh.
And me being in Quebec, it's even different from other Canadians because I'm in French Canada. So
Yep.
super fun.
So
And
that's not a South Philly accent that I picked up on. I can't believe that.
well, I'm a mix. I am a Mexican, Spanish, Canadian, French Canada lady. Like, everybody tells me I have an accent from somewhere else. I'm like, it's the Alicia accent.
That's it. You speak Alicia. That's what you speak.
Exactly.
So you started off with the Cricut, like
Yeah,
just like a lot of photo boothers out there start off with like just a regular camera or a webcam and
that's right, Bob.
shoot on a wall. So you started out, how long did it take you to get from the Cricut to your new process?
I would say about 2 years. Um, yeah, because it's not overnight. I have had people literally ask me, "Hey, how can I make props like you?" And it's like, listen, it's not rocket science,
Yeah.
but it does have a lot of research you have to do.
Mm.
PVC is, everybody thinks it's the same, but
Nope.
it is not the same. There are different densities, there are different textures, there are different thicknesses. And I had to do so much research because obviously I didn't go up to, um, you know, any other of my colleagues out there and be like, hey, how do you make them?
Yeah.
Like, I just had to figure it out. So I went to every printing company that I could find in this city. They laughed in my face because they're like, no, we are not going to do that. And I contacted so many Canadian businesses to get that done. They also laughed at me. But anyway, I requested no less than 20 samples for PVC from different manufacturers. I
Yep.
tested them. I literally was scratching them. I gave them to my dog to walk around with in her mouth.
I
Yeah,
want a picture of that.
yeah, I was doing that with the glitter props too, just to show
Oh.
people how sturdy they were because,
Uh-huh.
like, like, these things don't break.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was my product testing. I was just tossing them around, making sure, like, are they going to dent? Are they going to scratch? And some, they all do. Unfortunately, they all do, but
Yeah.
some a lot more than others.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I was getting that, I'm like, garbage, garbage, garbage. So yeah, like, I had to investigate about that. I had to investigate about the printing methods. Some of them, they just pretty much lay a sticker on top of the PVC. I didn't want a sticker. Some of them were just doing like, I can't remember what type of printing it was, but it was rubbing off when you were cleaning it.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so, and that's something that some of my customers told me that during the pandemic, they still had some gigs here and there, and people were cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, and they were telling me, Alicia, I cleaned them with Lysol wipes for weeks, and they're still good. So that was really nice, because that is not the kind of thing that I can test. I can clean them a few times and make sure that it's not rubbing off, but the fact that they were telling me that they were actually holding on, well, it was really nice. I was getting that feedback that, okay, they're good.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed. So, I'm not a veteran like Dave, but I've been around for like good, but 5, 7 years now, and I've noticed a difference between the props out there. There's some that I've purchased that within 2 weeks, like you said, stuff is wiped off. Some that I can just bend it a little bit and it'll snap. Sometimes
Yeah,
you drop it on the floor and it just crumbles apart.
yeah.
So it's nice to know that you have a standard that you hold to. And I would love to see, I think it's going to be a great promo pic of your dog walking around with props. I don't know if you already have it, but that would
I
be,
don't do
you,
it.
you
Well,
have
I have the
to
glitter one,
stage
but
it.
not yet.
You got to stage
Yeah.
that.
I will have to do it. It's just that the dog that was doing that, she sadly passed away last April.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And yeah, it's all
Yeah.
right. She's my soul puppy. But the other three that I have, the
Okay.
three that she sent my way, they don't really take commands like she used to.
Okay.
So I can't be like, here, take it.
So you got to catch
So
it. You have to just catch it at some point.
I know. Yeah, but like, I brought a couple, so you can see there.
So
Mine are
that's
five
what, is that
mil.
one prop right there? That's one
That's
prop?
one prop.
Oh my gosh.
It's 5 mil. Like, the standard in the US is 6 mil, but for
Yeah.
me it's five. But
Okay.
I think, honestly, 5 mil to me feels better. I know it's silly, but to handle them, I find it nicer. And I mean, look at this. I'm honestly, I'm trying to bend it, and I
Right.
can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
I
insane.
if I don't get exactly this quality when they arrive, I send them back.
Send it
I'm
back.
like, I don't want this crap.
That's good.
So
Um.
I do. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go. You go. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that I want. It's not like I want to, of course, say anything bad about anybody else. It's just that I want people to understand that we all have different qualities. We all have different product.
Yep.
Because yes, PVC, it's plastic, it's a prop, but they are not the same. And the only way that you can figure that out is buying it or
Yeah.
touching it.
And you have to pay for it.
So
There's
yeah.
or
an investment.
or going to the Photo Booth Expo, like the one that's happening in another week or so.
Oh my God, like
Oh my
20.
God.
And actually putting your hands on it at the different
Yeah.
booths and
Yes.
see, the
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah.
Now, I have some of your props from before, and I will say that my customers absolutely love them. They get tossed on the floor, they get kicked around. I have some that have some dents on them, but when they hold it up, it looks great, and
Yeah, it holds up.
they
They're
hold
not
up. And
indestructible.
right,
Yeah, that's it. It's like they're not indestructible, and people are savages and beasts at parties. Um, And I have had only, in all the years that I've been selling them, I've had 2 people tell me, look at this. And they sent me a photo and they were snapped in half. And it was literally because someone was stepping on it at I guess it was like at a step, and pushed down on it with the foot to break it willingly. And I'm like, how in the world? But, it happens. It's not, they're not indestructible. And, in a way, for me, the fact that people really love them at parties and they grow little feet and walk away, that's kind of a good thing for me.
And people, this is something that I see that pops up all the time in the groups is,
People take them.
my props are walking away at events. What do I do? Well, you buy more props. When you
Yeah.
look at the overall cost of what it is, you're only looking at a few dollars. That person that has that sign, just get another one.
Yeah.
They're
It's
not
a
that
lot of
expensive.
people really get really upset about it, and I haven't had that happen to me when I was having the photo booth. I was so mad because I made them, and I'm like, bring it back.
Right.
But eventually you have to realize that you have to build that cost into your business costs.
Yep.
There's no way around it. You can only run after so many people, and also, do you really want to be like, bring me back my prop? It's very stressful. So at some point you have to choose your battles. And there are, of course, certain props that like, I know that people have purchased very expensive glasses or tiaras or whatever. Of course, you want to take care of those, but people have to realize, like, okay, I'm going to bring those to an adult party where there's not going to be kids taking them and running around with them. And sometimes adults are worse than kids, but you have to just adapt.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. So I was on your site earlier too, and I noticed that now we do have a big game coming up this weekend. We can't say the actual name because it's trademarked and copywritten, and but there's a big game, a big
Super
football
Bowl?
game.
I don't mind saying it. They can come after me.
I don't know.
So,
but yes, it's coming up.
And our local team, the Philadelphia Eagles. I was going to say, what am I thinking? The Eagles. That's why I'm wearing green today. We have our team that's going to be in the Super Bowl. So we're very excited for that, obviously. But I noticed that you have football themed props.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
So if anybody's, I know you're probably, if someone ordered them today, there might be a chance you could get them soon.
Maybe with DHL Express, it's very expensive shipping, especially since I'm in Canada, but they are pretty amazing. Like, they have saved my butt so many times. Just type it in the search bar, you'll find it.
Actually, Art, go down to the bottom.
Okay.
I saw it on the scroll on the bottom.
Oh, you did?
Oh, that's in the main page. It's in the main page.
Go to the home page.
And you know how those props seem to be?
Click left or right.
Which one?
Click the left or right arrow there.
Oh, that. Okay.
There you go.
Hey, there it is. Look at that. Game on.
There you go.
That's what I love about your. So, I've been taking a step back, like during COVID too, and thinking about what do I like about certain props, and I like the simplicity of your props. Some of the props that I see out there are just a bunch of stuff, just like
they're too busy,
and you're too busy. You can't read them on the pictures.
But you know what, the thing that I have learned as a business owner, designer, whatever, there are people that love anything and everything. Yeah. So I've seen people that completely adore all those busy props, and you know what? That's fine. But I wanted to have things that were going to be easy to read and that would not clash with anything else, and that they are not going to they're not going to be the first thing you see with the photo. You're going to see the guest at the photo booth, and then you're going to see, oh, look at the sign. Like, I don't want it to be like glaring there on the photo. So I tried to have some, it works. They coordinate a bit. And also, if you grab one set, then you mix it with another set, they still look like they belong together.
What would you say is like your entrepreneur side, your accounting side? Do you take a look back and say this set or this prop sells more than others? Like what do you have that like what sells the
Oh,
most? Would you say?
well, of course, weddings are a huge thing.
Oh yeah.
The wedding sets that I have, I cannot keep them in stock long enough. I am ordering 50 to 100 sets at a time now.
Mhm.
And just to give you context, when I started selling the PVC props, I was ordering 5 at a time.
Right.
My orders were so measly.
Right.
And now I'm like, you know, I cannot keep up. And of course, I'm at this point, I'm still catching up from all the delays from shipping and all the
Hmm.
problems that came up last year and the year before.
Yep.
So I'm still catching up and getting there, but the all the wedding stuff that I have is really the one that sells the most. And it makes sense to me because weddings are huge in the industry.
Yep.
Um, so,
That
but I think that
that
would be number one.
This one right here.
No, I mean the wedding
This
ones are
weddings.
number
Got
one.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The,
That's the set that I have that my guests really, my customers really love. That I always get compliments on the sayings that are on the props and
Hmm.
things like
that's
that.
good. I do. I think that the what I like about my style, if I may say so myself, is just that it's a simplicity that's elegant and classic. It doesn't go out of style, but it still has a fun twist to them.
That's a,
So you
that's exactly what I
can,
was gonna say. That it's they're simple, they're classy, and there's like a little bit of just a touch of flair to them.
yeah,
It's like
a
that's
little bit of sass.
just a little
Yeah,
bit.
Well,
and
the thing that I notice more so with yours than some of the other manufacturers that are out there is like you and I'm sure that this plays back to when you first started is you have a lot of your signs and things like that have sparkles, or that
yeah,
sparkle theme to it.
Yes,
yeah.
And
That
I
signature.
think
I was
that
totally
that's
going for
kind of
that.
your like tag, I think.
Yeah,
That I don't know if you deliberately did that or if it just happened that way, but
no, I did. I did the exactly that day. The first set that I made was the wedding set. After jumping from glitter to PVC, and I wanted them to look like the glitter ones. And so yes, I figured out how to put the glitter on the freaking letters because I didn't know how to use Illustrator. I didn't know how to do any of that. Like I don't know. I just watched a ton of videos and I'm like, how can I put glitter on my letters? And I managed to figure it out after watching a lot of stuff. And it is not rocket science, but it does take some learning. I
Yeah.
am completely self-taught, and it's a learning curve. I was not able to, for many reasons, to go to college or anything, but everything that I know and do, I love learning. I'm always okay. Let's look at a video about Adobe Illustrator and about accounting, even though I don't do it
Hmm.
now, and everything in between.
well, that's part of being an entrepreneur is, some of the greatest businesses out there are self-taught, in how they got into their business,
Yeah,
and that says a lot. That shows the drive that you have behind you. I think that, you want to do better. You want better for yourself and for your customers. and like you said, when I got started in this business, there weren't any Facebook groups.
No.
There was nothing.
Yep.
And I went out and I learned all the different softwares to help other people as well as myself. But
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of how I got started, and I
Yeah.
wanted to know everything I could because I wanted to help people, and that's I wanted to be able to put out a better product than someone else,
Yeah.
that matched what I wanted to market my branding to my customers.
Yep.
Exactly. I think that I'm very like I was called by one of my former bosses an impatient perfectionist. And I laughed. I'm like, what? He says, you want everything now and you want it perfect. And I said, yeah, you're not wrong there. And I've since then realized that it is impossible to do that. You have to either take your time, do things right, and you can't do things right and be quick. It's like that whole triangle of
Yeah.
expensive, good, or fast.
Yeah.
You can only have two. And with
Right.
me is you can have it good and not too fast. But that's really because I do have the, you could say, downside that I'm in Canada. But I can't easily move to the US and all sorts of things that come with that. But I think that the people that have followed me and support my business, they are fine. They're like, it's okay, I'll wait. And some of them will pay for the extra fast shipping, and I'm like, all right, we can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately it goes back to I want the best for my clients because I will not accept anything of low standards. I have very high standards, and it can be quite annoying for people around me that I'm too picky. I'm very finicky, and my poor husband, he has learned the hard way that I like certain things done a certain way. But I also learned that business and marriage are about compromise, and I took a step back and I stopped telling him that he was whipping eggs wrong.
Whoa. All right.
What, you
No,
told him he wasn't doing eggs correctly? Oh my goodness.
well,
That would be me.
whipping them,
I'm the
he
same
was
way.
he was kind of like going around instead of like doing the whip. And I'm like, they're not gonna whip well. But anyway,
That's
ever
stirring. That's not
since
whipping.
I told him I was not gonna tell him how to whip the eggs anymore because they still get blended and they still get scrambled just the same. So,
Ugh.
but for other things, I am very, very, very nitpicky. When he makes the boxes and he puts the packaging in, I'm like, it better not have creases and it better be folded neatly. Did you forget the paper? Put it all in there. Like,
Yeah.
I want people to open that box and be excited about it. And they are. They post about it all the time, and I'm so happy that they do. They tag me all the time. And, like, to me, it's the extra little touches. Like, I decided to, yeah, there he is, hard at work. And I
That
told
doesn't
him
look like he's hard at work. Come on,
that
we know
sticker has to
better.
be on the right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to say. You're on the right hand side, making sure he puts it on just right.
Yes. So yeah, he's really amazing. He's helped me so much, and I honestly I wouldn't be here at this point in time without his help because there's just too much
Mm-hmm.
that it's so stressful, and people, I think, they don't realize it. They're like, oh, it's just props. There's too much to it. There's so much, and you have to think about all these little details
Yeah.
that they don't even think about.
And it's
And I go like the extra little step, and I started putting these little bags.
nice. That's
They
beautiful.
they're just it's a simple little bag that I package the props in there, and people just carry around their props to the site with them. And I find that super cute that they kept them because they're reusable. And honestly, to me, it's that extra little touch that they love. They're like, they are literally leaving me Google reviews about the tote bag.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, it's so yeah, it's that little extra touch for me, and also that they reach out, and maybe I'm too available. Sometimes they send a message at like 1 a.m, and I reply. I probably shouldn't do that, but they appreciate that. They love that I'm there to answer the questions. If it's not me, it's Bastion. And it's more than just a piece of plastic at the end of the day, at least for me.
It is.
Right?
I'm gonna go. Last week I started doing something called, I guess, teachable moment, right? So I'm gonna give that one a teachable moment, right? And I think for our viewers out there, the teachable moment is don't just do the bare minimum. Go a
Yeah.
little extra. You go a little bit extra with your props, adding, making sure that it's perfect, that you've got the perfect thickness. Um, and the glitter, which is your signature, but that bag, right? So that bag is going one step beyond what the client is paying for or expecting, which increases the customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
One of the things that I started doing now is at events, I actually have thank you cards. And if I find one really good print of the bride and the groom or the guest of honor, I print out one special one, I put it in a thank you card, and I write a little special note and I give it to them at the end of the event. And I've gotten like just a couple reviews, I think, just from doing that. So teachable moment is do extra. Your clients will.
Yeah. Yeah, going the extra step is always appreciated, and maybe to you it's not a huge thing. To me, it's it's a bag, and honestly, they were extras from the expo last year that I brought home, and literally we ran out of packaging, bubble wrap and paper we were using, and I look at them and I said, we could send these. Like, I think it would be really neat touch to put them in. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't plan it; it just came up, and I'm actually adding a little extra thing now, which is a microfiber cloth,
Oh,
because
there
I
you go.
have, yeah, I actually have my logo on lasered onto the microfiber cloth, and it's a little extra that, because people are always asking me, oh, how do I clean the fingerprints, and they want to use, I don't know, Clorox or something, and I'm like, no, just use water, mild soap, and a microfiber cloth.
Perfect.
And I figured, hey, it would be nice to give that to my clients now, and I'm just adding them in there. I finally received them like a few days ago, and I was so excited. And I just add them into the orders, and hopefully they'll find them useful. I'm obsessed with branding everything I can.
I don't know what you're
So
talking about.
yeah, I
Because
know.
that's some pens made up
Wait,
too.
what's branding?
What is that?
I,
Yeah, see?
I have like,
Oh, that's cool. What is that? What is that you had there?
it's my little business wallet, but I
Oh,
had some stickers made.
yeah, that's cool. I like it.
I had a bunch of stickers made for PBX of like the people that
Oh, that's cool.
love my props,
Uh-huh.
like these ones. So I made the.
Please save me some of those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing a bunch. This one's for you, Art.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love
So
it.
people were just like, loving the props, these ones. So I'm like, let's make them stickers. I am obsessed with stickers.
We'll go back to the fries one. That's also a prop too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all the props.
Yeah. I'm
They're
gonna
They're
need to.
all props.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because, like, I know when I first saw
Yeah.
that and I commented, it looked like a prop, and I'm like, it's a sticker. No, I want to buy. I want to buy
No,
one of those.
they're all props, and I
But
actually got some printing material with this. I actually made this one myself
oh, cool.
with
Heat press.
a heating machine. Yeah, heating press. And I just bought it's called DTF, which is really
Yep.
funny.
Direct to fabric.
Yeah. So some people think it's something else, but we don't go there. But anyway, so
Sounds so
I
fun.
got the
Isn't that what
DTF
it is?
printed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so I have like 20 shirts now with things all over them, and one of them I actually had prop designs made out, and they're like on my shirts. So I have like the fries before guys, and
I love it.
um, yeah, pretty much anything that could go on a shirt, I'm going to make it into a shirt.
That's
That would
cool.
be great if you made some shirts and brought them to the expo. If you could, if
Well,
you
actually, like I'm helping Julia with the women's conference.
right,
I've been helping her this year with it, and we decided to make some shirts for the ladies. So they're all designs that I had made way back when I wanted to sell them. And I said, "Oh, here you go, have them and make them." And so she's doing that at home, and pretty much they just say the photo booth lady and
right.
booth boss babe, and things like that.
Well, I
That whole
remember last year
hour.
you guys had the tumblers, the
Yes.
out front, and I was like, man, I feel left out. And I'm not female, and because you
Uh-huh.
had some great like the merch stuff that you
Yeah.
guys had for that was just
Yeah. It was
incredible.
really good. It was
So
really
now,
good. She did a very good job with that.
so now you were talking about uh, the ladies expo,
Mm-hmm.
the female cookers. Can you tell
The
us
conference. Yeah.
tell our audience a little bit more about that?
Well, it's as I said, this is Julia's thing, but I've been helping her because even though she's another prop queen, we really hit it off. We're really good friends, and we understand each other. We totally get what we're going through. So we hit it off last year because I knew of her, but I decided to come up and chat with her because I'm gonna, as they say in the Facebook groups, is community over competition. And I decided to go and chat with her, and we really hit it off. So I know that she was planning all this last year. I didn't help her with anything. It was not until this year. So the tumblers from last year were totally her thing, and
Right,
they were great.
right.
Yeah, and so what we're doing is, you know, it's a little bit unfortunate that we have to have a ladies conference and a ladies group because sadly we do get some trolls out there in the other groups. And as much as we want to ignore them, it can be very difficult for some ladies that don't want to have that confrontation. And so they honestly they feel safe coming here with any question because they sometimes they think, oh, it's a dumb question, and it could be, but honestly, who cares? We have to learn. and
Sure.
and so these ladies, they come over here and they share their stories, their questions. We all try to help one another as much as we can, and
Hmm.
we're learning. So it's a very safe space for all of us, because honestly, as a vendor, I sometimes feel scared to post on Vendor Mondays. And because some people are just out there to be trolls, and I am in no, uh, I'm not in the frame of mind to be attacked or harassed over stuff. So I just don't do it sometimes.
Right.
So in this place, honestly, the ladies have been so welcoming, and we all help one another so much. I know it sounds super cliche, but I'm I'm a tomboy. I'm a complete tomboy, and it's the only time that I have felt like I actually have girlfriends.
Hmm.
And it's very nice that they recognize me. They're pumping me up. We're always doing that. And if something, it's not all honey and roses, or however they say that. Um, there are times that we will tell someone you're doing the wrong thing. It's not sugar coated. We of course say it in a nice way, in a constructive manner, because we will not stand for aggressive comments and
I
condescending.
I've heard
Yeah,
some of the conversations because I've talked to Julie in the past, and
yeah,
when I've supported her 1,000,000%, in this, and we were supposed to have her on, and then I think something happened out in
yeah.
California.
Some stuff going on.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so she had to reschedule, and we haven't been able to get her back on yet. But I absolutely love her, and
Yeah,
and
she's amazing. She's done so much for the industry, and she's too humble. She's like, oh no, I haven't. I'm like, yes, you have. Like everybody loves you, and she, as a friend, she has been great with me. Like I'm literally in the east coast of Canada, and she's in the west coast of the U.S. But somehow we managed to talk every day, and we it's a very nice thing because I some people might be like, oh, she's your rival, and I'm like, no, she's not.
Plenty of
Is
them
she
though.
me? She's
No.
not me. She has different things than I do, and that goes for everybody else. That
right,
goes for every other prop vendor out there. They are not me, and I am not them. So we're not competitors. They're selling
Great.
their own stuff. And when I started, I was scared, and I have to say that I was maybe not, the I didn't have the clarity that I have now back then, and I felt threatened by it. Like a company came with a very similar name to mine and very similar designs to mine, and I got mad, and I was like, okay, this is not right, especially because that person purchased from me and then right away came out with that stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. But anyway, that's beside the point. It very well could have been a misunderstanding, but I was mad at that point. But now I'm just like, who gives a shit? Like seriously, if there's people that will do whatever they can to steal, like I have had people literally print with the watermark on it and cut them
Oh,
out.
yeah.
And, and I call them out, and I'm like, dude, don't do that. It's just wrong. And they're like, well, it's on Google, so I should be able to do it. It doesn't work like that.
No.
And
yeah.
you've seen that happen so often, especially with photo booth pictures. It
Uh,
happens so often.
you would it would your mind would explode with the amount of information and requests, because I'm very big on not stealing other people's work, and
Hmm.
I've banned so many people from the Photo Booth Network over the years
Yeah.
because they've stolen someone else's stuff without, oh, it was my web guy that did it. No, it's your
No.
site. You're responsible for your own business. If you're
Hmm.
not double checking someone else's work, then shame on you. And
Yeah.
there's no need to steal.
It's
Create
pure
your own
laziness.
exactly, exactly. You know, there was times where I've asked people for, hey, I like your thing. Can I post an example of it? You can watermark it. I just want to use it as a reference point or something like that for a presentation or whatever. You know, and a lot of times I've gotten no's and I've gotten
Hmm.
yeses. So it's a matter of you know be respectful to people. People think
Yeah.
that, oh, well, it's on Google, it's free. No, it's not free. It's,
Not at
someone
all.
put effort into designing something and creating something. Just because it's on Google does not mean that
Fake
it's
it.
it's on the internet, so oh, I must be able to, use it. No.
Yeah. No.
Show
And
some respect to the people.
I find it super lazy because you guys literally have the equipment and the events and everything you need to have those amazing photos of your setup, the event. So it's just pure laziness. And
Right.
the same thing goes for the props. Like I have seen so many of them just try to be replicated because I literally I was scrolling through my Instagram feed and I saw a prop that looked like mine. It was almost like mine, but I was able to find out that well, I figured out that it was not mine because of the corners of the prop. Because all my corners are rounded.
Yep.
And these ones, they literally had taken the picture and the watermark and everything was on it, and they just cut it out in a square, like perfect square. And then I just zoomed in and I'm like, this doesn't look right. And and then I see that it was literally printed on foam board and they cut the corners straight. So I messaged that person and I'm like, as nice as you can be, because you of course don't want to start World War III over it. But I'm like, please be respectful that this is my artwork, and it's not for you to take like that. If you wish to purchase the props, if you like them, please purchase them, because no, they're not gonna bankrupt me, but it's just very disrespectful.
Yeah, it is artwork. It completely is artwork. Speaking of like artwork, so you backing up, you bought a T-shirt, a DTF for this direct to fabric printing. Are you getting into the T-shirt business? Because some of their stuff is like, I swear, could be
I would
sold as
love to.
T-shirts. I
Oh
really
yeah,
can't.
yeah. Most of my props are totally, they lend themselves to be on shirts, and I
Oh,
wanted to do that. Yeah, I really did. And I'm always like, I have a squirrel in my head, and that squirrel's always like, do this, do that, do that. And shirts and stickers have always been a thing that I want to do.
I think you should
So
test it.
I might
Test
I
one
might
out.
have that.
Put it on your site and Etsy too. I mean, you
Yeah.
still have your Etsy account. Why not?
Well, I do have the Etsy one. I got out of Etsy because they have so many stupid fees that
Oh,
are so hurtful to
yeah.
creators
Mm-hmm.
that I just, I have the account, but I don't want to use the account.
Yeah.
Mainly just so that someone doesn't take the name. But yeah, I've really wanted to branch out the business even from the beginning. I did not purposely name my business something props because I always wanted to be able to
Yeah.
expand.
It's Lush
And
party studio. I
yeah,
personally, and I think you should at when you're ready for it. But your stuff is, for my opinion, for what it's worth, is completely brandable. I think you got something really good. That
yeah, thank
So
you.
I think for next year's PBX, we should see T-shirts.
Oh,
I
I would
really
love.
do. Even if you made 10 of each, I
mhm,
guarantee you,
it'll
you'd
sell
probably
out.
sell those
Oh, I know they
first
will.
day.
I know they will. Like I actually last year, I was also helping someone else with the Latinx Photo Booth Owners
Mhm.
um, Facebook group, and I designed the logos, and we made T-shirts, and they all sold out.
I'm in
So
that
yeah,
group
people
also.
do love that. Sorry?
I said I'm in that group also.
Oh, you're in? Yeah, I haven't seen you in there. I haven't been there because I've been so busy that I haven't been in the Facebook group. So, but yeah,
And
it's also really nice.
your own Facebook group too. I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
boom
I have so many things now.
the Lush Prop Crush group. That's great.
The Lush Crush.
Who loves it? I
I
love it.
couldn't call it the Lush Crush because of the soap company,
Yeah.
so it's the
And
Lush Prop Crush.
also for our viewers out there, you do custom props as well. So I saw this,
I do.
um, and I want to highlight on your site the fact that people can order them, right? So that is also available. Custom.
Yeah, it's I would want to say that it's my wheelhouse doing the custom stuff. I have so many people that come back over and over to get custom stuff. I don't have a lot of examples on
Nope.
the website, and I just have I have to update this part. I want to put new
Yeah.
things, but this is one of my clients, DJ Persist. He's one of my big supporters, Jesse,
Yeah.
and he's a DJ and photo boother. So he said, "Hey, I want some 360 props," which is something that I was like, "What is a 360 prop?" Eventually, I realized it's large and it's one-sided.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Got it.
So he said, and what I love about it is that they give me free reign. They say, hey, I have a gala at a museum. Can you make stuff with art? So I made, with a Picasso looking thing and all these things. So they give me so much free range, which reminds me that it's going back to the football set. That one came to be because I had a client reach out to me because they were doing um, the retirement of Rob Gronkowski.
Oh.
And
Oh,
they
okay.
wanted. So I made a set for the Gronk.
Mhm.
I have no idea anything about sports, but I did know about him. And so it was really nice that I was able to do something like that. To this point, I haven't seen any pictures of the event, but I wish I
So,
could. I think it would be really cool.
so what you're saying is this set down here, going back one, was inspired by the Gronk party.
Yeah. Yeah, like the colors were different because they were with the colors of his jersey.
Yeah.
Um, and I was actually able to put the trophy and
Oh,
all that because it was allowed, and it said the MVP and all these things and the Gronk. So
cool.
it's really nice when I get that. I had someone else reach out to me about a Nike event, so I did a bunch. They wanted it to be hip hop from the '90s, and I'm Mexican. I don't listen to hip hop, so I had to learn. I was telling Uh, I have to do so much research whenever I'm doing custom stuff, and they tell me, okay, it's hip hop from the '90s, and I'm like, okay, Biggie and Tupac, okay, we
It
have
is.
something. But other than that, it's really fun when they tell me, they give me like the weirdest event sometimes, and I'm just like, what is this? They're like, yeah, my wedding is boho inspired with touches of old Hollywood and what else and sparkles. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But okay, we'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
that's cool.
And it's really fun. I love doing custom props. So that's something that I'm highlighting even more this year at PBX because I didn't want to advertise it much because I didn't have a reliable manufacturer to do them quickly and with the quality standards that I wanted. And thankfully, I have now. I partnered with a company in the US, so I send them my artwork all done, all set up, ready to print, and they ship it out on my behalf, which is amazing. So
Mhm.
now I used to take maybe 3 to 4 weeks to deliver something custom. Now I can have it done in 3 to 4 days.
So you're saying you have a manufacturer in the U.S.
Yes, for the custom.
That's
Yeah,
great. That's
yeah.
fantastic. That's
I
great.
yeah. So they have been amazing. I met with them in November, and they were super amazing. Like making sure that all my stuff was up to my standard. And of course, they want me to do all the manufacturing with them, but the pricing, unfortunately, it's prohibitive. So
Yeah,
we're figuring that out. We're figuring that out.
that's great.
I would love to be able to do that, and maybe like I don't know what's coming up in my life. I don't know if I'm gonna be in Canada forever, but if I'm able to be in the US, that would be really beneficial for the business in that sense. But with that comes, a huge amount of things and paperwork to figure out.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, we know at least, you're going to be in the U.S. in about a week and a half or so,
Yes.
and we're going to get to see you. Are you bringing a big stock with you to the show that people can purchase and walk
No,
away? No.
no, I can't. It's
Mhm.
it's cost prohibitive. I really can't. I never have in all the years that I've been going to PBX, and I know that it's a little bit disappointing to people. They're like, "Oh, I wanted to take this." I know, I understand, but if they knew the amount of money that they charge us for the drayage and the shipping cost, and I cannot bring everything I have. I have over 100 prop sets.
Right.
Can you imagine? Even if I brought one of each.
Yeah.
It would
So
be,
you're not going to have anything for sale. It's just for show
I
only.
will.
Okay.
No, I will. Just not everything. It's going to be mainly singles.
Okay.
So kind of like this guy,
Okay.
like it's just a little single one. It's not part of a set.
Yep.
So people will still be able to buy, but I will have a catalog, and the people that cannot make it to PBX, they still get the deals as if they were at PBX. And I'm doing free shipping for everybody because, okay, I'm not able to bring you the stuff, but I'm gonna send it to you for free,
That's cool.
and you don't have to bring extra luggage. You don't have to be walking around with a bunch of stuff. So I think it's a win-win. I don't spend tens of thousands of dollars bringing all this stuff and risking not selling everything, and they get to still get their stuff at a discount and ship for free at home.
Cool. So what kind of lead time are we looking at? So if people come to the PBX and they visit the table to find some things, obviously it's going to take you some time to get through the show, then get home. So
Mm-hmm.
like a couple of weeks of processing time after PBX.
Yeah, yeah, about that. It's not gonna be months like I've seen happen
Yeah.
to some people. It's definitely not gonna be that long. It will be pretty much as soon as I get home, I will start packaging all the orders. Um, because as you know, it's just Bastion and I. We have no one else in the business helping us yet. It's pretty tough finding someone that, now in general, it's
Hmm.
difficult finding someone, and also someone that we can trust because we work out of our home right now. So it's, having someone come into your home, it's always, you know, a little bit tricky. We'll see later on if we are able to have someone help us with shipping. Pretty much the logistics is the part that we would need help with right now. So yeah, as soon as we come back home, we will be back on, I think it's the 25th, because we stay Saturday to Saturday.
Okay.
Also because I'm gonna be busy with more than just the prop stuff, because I will be helping Julia with the conference. I will be attending
Yeah.
the women's conference. I'm gonna be running around with maybe the Latinx photo booth people. Like pretty much you feel like you're in one of those tours of meeting everybody, and I'm busy. Like I'm bringing my mom and dad because they help me every year. My mom has helped me every year.
Hmm.
She's awesome, and my dad came last year. And even though my mom and my dad live in Mexico, so I fly them out to Vegas, and they feel like rock stars.
Yeah,
Super.
that's great.
Yeah, and they help me at the booth. My dad doesn't speak any English, but luckily, we have so many Hispanic clients that my dad is just there talking with them. He even met some people from Spain. He's from Spain, so he was
Oh.
having a blast. And my mom talks to everybody in Spanish and a little bit of English. So they are so amazing to come help me, because I wouldn't be able to do it. Like last year, we got hit with a stampede of people. And I'm like,
It's going to be worse
okay,
this year.
this year I think is going to be worse, and I may need some extra help. So I'm going to call on some of my amazing customers that wanted to help and be like, okay, maybe come give me a hand. But even then, like my booth is not huge. I have a 10 by 20.
Yep.
And even then, at some point, I'm thinking, okay, this is now getting small. And just because of the amount of people that come over, and many of my clients, they told me, they're like, oh, Alicia, I miss you because when I wanted to come by, you were busy with like 100 people in front. And I'm like, we'll come back later. And
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't.
pretty crazy.
It's
It
nonstop.
doesn't stop.
Nope.
It doesn't
Nope.
stop.
Well, Alicia, thank you for coming on the show. I can't wait to see you in a couple weeks. Get my sticker. I'm going to be ordering some props.
I'll be sure.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Who knows? Maybe I will have some shirts.
Ooh, that would be cool. That would be cool. But don't, you got enough to worry about. You got, stay focused. Stay focused.
Yeah,
Oh,
get ready because so real quick, you're going to be where are you going to be located on the show floor?
I
You
am
know?
actually, do you have a plan? I'm on
I'm
the main
I'm gonna try
aisle
and
in the
find it.
middle.
Hold on. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm gonna
There you
go
go.
to. Let's see
I'm
here.
on the right-hand side.
So hold on 1 second here. Photo. I know where you were last year. Are you anywhere near the same spot this year?
I'm a couple of rows over to the left. I'm not at the wall anymore. I'm a couple of rows to the left of the wall, of the right wall.
Here, I've got it.
I got it.
Or
It's up
On
there's
L.
on L. Gotcha.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. I see it.
So I'm at a
oh, there,
corner now.
Yeah.
you're right. You're right on the main aisleway there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
you're
finally able to move to Primo Real Estate this year.
Right across from
oh,
Orchid.
you're right across from Orchiview too. So that's going to be you're going to be swamped.
Oh yeah, I'm a bit scared.
You're all the way
uh,
farther away from. I'm gonna be at the Max booth, all the way at the
oh yeah, we're
opposite
gonna be
end.
far.
Now you're gonna make me walk.
We have to get our steps in.
Yes, we
I'm
do.
gonna walk
Lots of
too.
them. I've been working. I'll tell Dave
Oh
before
god.
we jumped on that I've been. I had knee surgery in August, and the orthopedic surgeon said you got to get on a cycle, and so I've been working out
Yeah.
every day and walking every day. I'm because we do. We all walk tons. Like I would say at least a few miles a day just for the expo.
Yes.
So here's another for you newbies out there. Make sure you're wearing sneakers. The fancy
Yes.
shoes, leave them at home. Wear
Yeah.
sneakers.
You're gonna be on your feet and bring a bottle of water. You know, it's some people come in and do a tour and then they leave, but there's other people that they stay there for hours or maybe come back the next day. And alone, just beside the expo, if you're gonna be visiting Vegas, it's a lot of
Mhm.
walking.
Yep.
So some of the ladies in the conference group, they were asking, oh, what should I wear? Should I get dressed up? And we're like, no, like
Nope.
come as you are. Of course you're not gonna be coming looking like a hobo, but it's come as you are, be comfortable. Nobody's going to judge you if you're wearing a hoodie, like
Nope.
seriously. And I think that we all have to be comfortable. An experience that we're on our feet for hours and sometimes with
Yeah.
maybe no bathroom breaks or food breaks, and it's pretty tough. So if anybody that's coming to Vegas for the first time, be comfortable.
Yeah. And even though Vegas is historically known as a hot place, I will say that this time of year it does get cold. So bring a
It
jacket.
was chilling.
Yeah. I went to the strip one of the nights last year, and I didn't have a coat. I was freezing. You needed a coat.
It was very windy.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yep. So
I had to buy a sweatshirt at South Point among the cowboy hats. I
oh,
found
cool.
some.
Yeah. That's in the rodeo area, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's definitely packed for windy weather and a bit chilly, because even though it is nowhere near as cold as it is here right now, oh my god, it was minus 40 Celsius a couple days ago. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it was cold.
Yeah. That sounds really
Yeah,
freaking cold.
it
No,
was
thank
very
you.
cold.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
maybe I should move down south.
yeah, not a bad idea. Although I've been up through your area. I went to Mont Tremblant once. Beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but it
It's
was during winter.
beautiful
It was
skiing.
way too cold for me. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, especially like it's not so much about the cold, it's the fact that you have to shovel all that snow,
Yeah, no, thank you.
and that is not fun.
No. Well, Alicia, thank you very much for coming on. Dave,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, Dave. Anything else before we close out the show? Episode 20 with the Alicia
Episode 20.
Garcia.
Done. Almost. So we want to remind everybody, if you're not signed up for the expo, you need to be at the Photo Booth Expo.
Mhm.
Is there
And
any room left?
I don't know.
I don't think that. I think, from what I understand, the hotel's completely sold out for the expo,
Yes.
like room wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
With the group
there's
rate.
also the mastermind that if you can't make it for the full 2 days of the mastermind, I think they now have like single day mastermind tickets also.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, check out Photo Booth Magazine on YouTube, the Photo Booth Network. If you aren't aware of what the Photo Booth Network is, look it up. It's just a small Facebook group that a few people know about, and
Just a handful.
just a handful, a couple.
Yeah. We got all the links on the website, photoboothmagazine.com
Yep.
or Photo Booth
And
Network.
if anybody has questions photo booth related, please feel free to reach out to myself, Art. If you have questions about props, reach out to Allie. I'm sure she'll help you answer some questions and check out her site. And yeah, it's crazy. We're like in that little like countdown time.
Yeah.
I might have to add a countdown timer to the site.
Yeah, because I mean we're like right there. This is going to be the biggest photo booth expos ever.
Yeah.
And not just the photo booth side, but there's also going to be this is going to be the largest of the DJ side too. That the mobile entertainment expo also. Make sure you bring comfortable shoes. Make sure you take as many pictures of everything you can, and introduce yourself to a stranger and get to know them.
Yeah.
It's incredible the amount of friends that I've met through all these events. And don't be afraid to say hello to anyone.
And definitely, thank you guys for having me and giving us a platform for sharing our stories and our business and what we stand for and what we believe in, because it's important to get that out there. We are, in the end, yes, we're a business, but we're still a human behind that screen and behind that Instagram account, and so it's very nice to have a place that we can share that, because some people might just know Lush Party Studio, but they don't know who I am. So I appreciate having that place where I can say hello, and I hope that I can meet a lot of new people and see old faces back at the expo in just a few days.
What also, if you stop by her booth, tell her that you saw her on the Photo Booth Magazine, because we'd like to know, we'd like to get feedback. Who the heck's watching this stuff? Because
if someone's watching, I'll give them an extra discount if they tell me they came from here.
Look out.
Now, there's your motivation right there. Get in there and do your thing.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
I like it.
And there you go. So then I'll be able to tell you how many people watched it and how many discounts I gave, and probably be like, oh my God, they bankrupted you, Ali.
It was like 2.
It'll be like one guy in passing said, hey, I saw you on the video.
Hey, why not?
Cool. Well, you know what we're going to do, Dave? Tomorrow when I post everything out, Alicia, I'm going to be putting your website address on there. I'm going to be putting your Facebook group thing on there. I'm on my blog as well for Photo Booth Magazine. I'll also make a note that anybody, if they have to watch this video to find out how to get something extra at the Photo Booth.
They're going to have to watch it to the end, because this is the only time we mentioned it. So
yeah, well,
yeah, they have to watch all the way.
They can scroll.
If that's the case, just stay away.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Less than 2 weeks. It's like a week and a half, something like that. I don't know. I'll see you there. Yep.
We'll see you.
All right, bye guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.